Hey guys, Anthony here. It is Thursday, October 3rd, 2024, and we are looking at 33 days, I think, before the selections. So that's 33 days, so just over a month before the selection process in our country happens. And with that, as I've talked about, excuse my voice, I have a little head cold. I talked about in several videos, and I've been preaching this for years, that the closer we get to this selection process, the worse off it's going to be for the country. And you're seeing that playing out now by it's only the third day in October, and we have the port strike, a directed storm at certain states of the country that devastated things. We have people going panic buying again, just the same way they did during the pandemic, the start of the pandemic. So today's video, because a lot of people have been asking, and you don't have to be a prepper or a hoarder or anything else, a couple of things you might want to have in your possession in case something else occurs between now and the selections. Okay, so number one, you're seeing it played out right now. What's the number one thing people need in North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida? Water. Clean water for drinking, washing, etc. So, buying water, yes, I recommend some cases of water to have, bottled water, but it's very simple. You have a container. I buy juice. I dump when I finish the container of juice, I fill it with either tap water, which lasts a very long time in that container, and or I fill it with my AquaTrue water, and I just label it AquaTrue water that's already filtered, and I store it in a closet, in a room, in a garage, wherever. So, or you could go to Walmart and buy 5 gallon jugs, 2 gallon jugs, while they're still available, and fill it with water. Just turn on your sink and fill jars and mason jars, whatever you have, bottles, milk jugs, with water, and put it aside. A gallon per person per day is recommended. Let's put it that way. Without water, everyone knows you can't go more than 3 days, maybe even less, depending on your climate and what kind of stress you're under. Number two, rice. You're seeing panic buying now in Costco, and people are buying toilet paper and paper towel, etc. Rice is still available. Last time I checked, rice lasts a long time on the shelf. You could buy a couple of bags and just throw them in a tote and put it aside for a later date. Rice. Number three, beans, whether dry for longer term or canned for I could eat right now. I could open a can of beans. I could open a can of black beans, red bean, whatever kind of bean, or legume, or whatever. I could open that can, dump it. It has moisture in it. It has water in it. I could drink the water. I could eat the beans. I don't even have to heat it up. Beans. Number four, peanut butter. Okay? Peanut butter. Peanut butter is high in protein, high in fat. I know there's a lot of, we're not talking like organic stuff now. This is not a video for organic or what's bad for you or good for you. We're talking survival. Something happens, the power's out, the grid's down, the flood came, cut you off from civilization. Your house is still standing. Many houses are not. They're washed away. In those cases, all the preps are done away with. Nothing's guaranteed. But for the most part, most people, that doesn't happen to. So peanut butter, honey, local honey preferably. For honey lasts indefinitely on the shelf. It can be used, as a food source, a flavoring source, a sweetener. It's good for sore throat. There's a million different things that honey is good for. So honey, if you're making a list today, these are some of the things you should be thinking that you should have. Honey's antibacterial, nutrition, sweetener, aids in healing of burns and wounds, acts as a probiotic, improves the immune system, decreases inflammation in the throat, which I was taking it last night. I have local honey that I bought from a local farm, Watson Farms here in South Carolina. Salt. Get as much salt as you can. Salt and sugar go hand in hand. Salt doesn't go bad. Sugar doesn't go bad. As long as you store it in a closed container, don't get it wet, salt will last you a long, long time. And so will sugar. These are ingredients that you're going to need for almost anything. Vitamins, that's kind of self-explanatory. If you take vitamins or, powdered protein, stuff like that, there's a lot of good stuff out there that could supplement your calories and could help you keep, your immune system thriving, keep you healthier. So stock up on vitamins. These are just basic things, guys. Seeds, again, some of us can grow, have gardens, whatever. It's good to have seeds to plant and to grow. That's for a longer term period, but to have seeds. A way to start a fire. The best way to start a fire is buy a couple of dozen Bic lighters. Buy, when you go to the grocery store, the wooden matches in the big boxes. They're cheap. But I tell you what, when something happens, they're going to disappear. And when you go to look for something and you don't have a match and you got to start a fire or to keep warm or to cook something or whatever, and you don't have it, you're going to be very, very sorry that you didn't buy matches and lighters. And then to go along with that, you have ferro rods that, you strike it, it causes a spark. Those all go along with that. Duraflame logs or, things you could light that take a spark. Dryer lint takes a spark. Save your dryer lint. People used to laugh at me. I used to put my dryer lint, I still do, in plastic Ziploc bags. You take a little bit out, you could put a little Vaseline on it, hit it with a fire steel, and that'll make a flame, like a candle almost, and then you could start your fire. It doesn't go out as quick. So think out of the box. Cotton balls, dryer lint, and there's other stuff you could buy if you do a Google search. All different types of fire starters that are dipped in, petroleum type things that will cause a flame to stay on longer, even in water. So be able to have fire starting materials. A radio, an AM/FM battery radio. You can go on Amazon or go to Walmart, put a couple of AA batteries or whatever. A lot of these radios have the 10 NOAA channels on it for weather. And now you have an ability to listen in. And what does a radio cost? $15? $10? I have little radios in my bug out bags. The antenna pulls up. It takes 2 AA or AAA batteries. And you got some form of communication or to listen to news reports. And then there's also more advanced radios like wind up or crank up where you don't need batteries. So in that field, look at radios and get the different ones that you may need. Walkie-talkies. A lot of people get confused, or there's so much out there with ham radios and all that. A walkie-talkie that you buy like in Walmart or on website is FRS, Family Radio Service. That's most of them. They're like the blister pack radios. They have like 16 channels, and they could talk radio to radio. So they cost very little money. You could get one for every member of your family. Hey, everybody, go on channel 3. Daddy's going to be out, walking around the neighborhood, talking to the neighbors. Mom's at home. The kids are out front. Everybody is in communications. This is the short distances, and you could talk to each other. Just remember, other people can be listening. Always remember that. So watch what you say on the radio. Have like some kind of codes or stuff like that. But being able to communicate, FRS radios, easy. Then you could get GMRS radios. You could buy those right now, like different brands. And, a 2-pack of Baofeng GMRS radios, pre-programmed, are going to cost you less than $50. You could talk on GMRS frequencies with a license. That's $35. You don't have to take a test. It's good for your whole family. You'll get a call sign. You can apply for that, and they'll get it to you in a couple of weeks. In an emergency, do what you need to do. But GMRS radios also has repeaters on some of the channels. So now you can listen to maybe something that's going on maybe farther away. And you could listen in on the GMRS channels that are hooked to repeaters. You don't have to program anything. You get the radio, GMRS pre-programmed radio. BTEC, Bofang, Redavis. There's a lot of different brands out there. Just do a search. And then ham radios. Yes, you have to program them a little more advanced, but again, that could be done. But that's something, if you're not into radios right now, I would recommend GMRS, FRS, and then having an AM FM portable weather radio, emergency radio. You're pretty much covered. You're good to go with that. That covers walkie-talkies. Flashlights. I like Olight, the brand Olight. There's other brands out there. If you go to Olight website or on Amazon, you'll see that Olights charge very easily. There's a little magnetic thing on the back. It goes into a USB, and you could charge it off a battery pack, a generator, what have you. And the lights have several different modes. They last a long time. Certain modes, the low modes, will go for weeks before you need to recharge them. So Olight, invest the money. I would say they have several different models from $40 up to, several hundred. But for $40, $50, you could get a very, very good flashlight for you, your families. They even have one that converts to a headlamp. It has red light, which you need to protect your vision at night. So the Perrin 2 Mini is the headlamp one. I think it's $60. It could go in your pocket or it could go on a headlamp. So Olight flashlights or a flashlight. Wind up, crank up, preferably where you don't need to go look for batteries. But any flashlight that you could get, if you have batteries or rechargeable batteries and a way to recharge them, your flashlight can go perpetual. So just think out of the box. Just do a search and see. Weapons and ammo. Everyone wants to talk and argue about guns and, who needs a gun? You don't need a gun until you need a gun. When you talk about the looting going on in Western North Carolina and wherever else there's stuff going on. Look at the truckers that were delivering supplies to the people in the states affected. They got their tires slashed. I think 50 to 100 truckers. That's a coordinated effort. Do they have to start guarding now and taking turns? Who's going to sleep? Who's going to guard? You need weapons. You need self-defense, something to defend yourself in the event of a bad situation. And a firearm is the best tool for that. You could also use or recommend, this all goes with weapons and ammo. Ammo, firearm, knives, baseball bats, machetes, clubs, tire thumpers. Think out of the box. But some form of defense to defend your house, your perimeter, your neighborhood, to stand against evil that's out there. It's out there normally every day. Imagine when SHTF occurs, what's going to happen. Talk to people that are going through it right now and went through it. And then I do a lot on my channel, physical preparedness, walking, jogging, weightlifting, whatever that is, stretching, whatever that is, stay in physical condition, eat right, keep your weight down, because in a time of crisis, you don't want to be out of shape and not able to physically handle what body's going to be called to do. And you then, of course, mental preparedness goes along with it. A good mental preparedness plan is good. If you've done all the ABCs of prepping and you have a lot done and put away, your mental preparedness will be a lot easier because you say to yourself, okay, I'm ready. Am I 100% ready? Never. No. Can something wipe my house away? Yes. But I'm ready. I'm mentally prepared, physically prepared, and I have what I need for me and my family, my community, whatever it is. And so that's important, mental preparedness. So that's some basics that people have been asking, and what I would say, you need these preps urgently, what I just talked about. And then don't forget, and you could categorize it in one of the things that I talked about, medical needs. What types of prescriptions do you have? What types of first aid kits do you have on hand? What types of alcohol do you have that on hand? Peroxide, wipes, baby wipes, diapers, all that stuff can be added into here and should be added in. Medical, prescription drugs, tourniquets, uh, wound care kits, whatever that is. There's plenty of companies out there that make items for that. I'll put a few links to them in the description of this video, and you can purchase those. But that's some of the things that you should have in the event of an SHTF. I'm telling you, we are in an SHTF right now. We have been in an SHTF for the last 4 years, maybe longer. How bad it gets is anyone's guess. I think it's going to get a lot worse in the next 33 days and afterwards. The day of the election, whatever that is, November 5th, doesn't end all types of disaster or things of bad things happening. We're talking about forward after the elections. What could happen if so-and-so's people don't get elected? Does the other side agree or doesn't agree? Or, think about civil unrest. It's going to happen. And it is happening now. Think about it. Plan for it mentally, physically, get your preps in order. Of course, your faith is number one. That's part of my channel, the main part of my channel. But that's not this video. This video is for tangible things right now that people are looking to gather. Okay, thanks for watching. Take care. Stay ready. Anthony signing off.